22nd Street Landing, home of the Freedom. She is got under new ownership right now, and it is going to be fantastic season for the Freedom right here out of 22nd Street Landing. But this is Lobster Chronicles, and my dear friend Renee De Leon is here. Renee, how are you?
Fine. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, you guys.
It has been incredible lobster hoop netting here recently. We're going to talk about that.
Yes, it's been incredible. A lot of production going on. Lobsters are crawling. Got a lot of weather that happened, and like we said, once the weather starts happening, you're gonna get a lot of activity, and that's what we've been getting.
Yeah, heck yeah. We're gonna pick your brain a little bit about what is the best way, the best bait. I know we've covered that, and of course, we want to take your questions. You have any question at all? I mean, keep it clean a little bit at least. But
Yes.
And as we have been mentioning, we have also Brian Sanchez, who's supposed to be here for Lobster Chronicles from Promar. Now, we usually have an over and under line because he's never right on time. But if he shows up 5-10 minutes late, we feel blessed.
Yep.
So the over-under tonight, we're going to put it 15 minutes, 5:15. Will Brian be here before 5:15 or after 5:15, or do you have another guess?
I say 5:20.
5:20 is what Renee
5:20.
says. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Brian no-shows tonight. Just completely blows the show off.
Wow.
Is that possible, do you think?
Wow.
I doubt it because
I don't know.
he did talk to me and he said he would definitely be here.
Yeah.
So I find it unimaginable that
Yeah,
he
he
would.
has to leave work, so he has to go through all that traffic and stuff. So, give him some time to get over here and come over here safely. So he should be by.
All right. You say after 5:15 or before?
I said 5:20.
5:20. Okay, and I say no show. So we'll see how that all works out. We got a ton of comments here. A lot of great people joining us. I'll read some of those. How's that grab you, Renee?
Sounds good.
Renee, by the way, Renee brought some ceviche for the dog. Mad Dog Custom Rods. I don't mention that enough. Anthony's doing such beautiful work in such a little amount of time. He's the Michelangelo of rod wrapping, the Sistine Chapel. I can see it now, man. He's really done a great job. Anyway, Renee brought us some ceviche, and I got to tell you, that was so good, and I like the fact that you didn't hold back on the serrano peppers.
Oh, no.
It made it super spicy. It was so good. And you made it from the whitefish that we caught on our trip, right?
Yes. So all from the whitefish. A little bit of shrimp, a little bit of bluefin in there, and then all the veggies that go in, the serranos, the jalapenos, a little bit of tomato, red onion, and then the lime juice and lemon juice.
Absolutely delicious. I absolutely loved it. All right, let me read a couple of comments because I think we got a little bit of joking going on here. Halibut Man Mitchell, you should be here, man. We miss you. He says the suspense is killing me. Here we are, man. A moment of silence for Scott and Cranker. It's so quiet in here. Yeah, Scott and Cranker. Where is Scott and where is the Cranker? The Cranker normally joins us. Scott thinks the Cranker's a little bent out of shape. He's been getting raked over the coals on the morning briefing here recently. So,
wow.
I don't know. There was there's something going on like figure skating. And the Cranker's into that kind of crap. So, are you into that? You're not into figure skating.
I only like watching the girls go.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you got to watch the girls go.
All right.
But it's only when it comes on every now and then.
All right, yeah. I still would prefer watching hockey myself, but hey, to each his own. Richard Hughes. Yes, Richard is admiring the jokes about the Cranker. You crack a joke about the Cranker, Richard Hughes will be all over it. How's it going? Halibut Man. He's saying hello to Halibut Man. Let's see. Fish for fun. Hey, great to have you with us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be here. Hey, Phil and the Friedman Adventures family, I've never been hoop netting before, but definitely want to try it sometime. Why don't you look out there for Fish for Fun and tell him why he would enjoy it. And I really, Renee, you hearken back to the trip that we had on the Amigo, and that may have been an exceptional kind of vibe. We had such a good vibe with everybody. I mean, literally had people cheering.
Right.
That was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was just a lot of fun. One, because you're out on the water, you have your peace, you leave all your stress behind, but you had a lot of great people that you're around with and enjoy common interests. And then when we started fishing, everybody really got into it. We had a lot of fun. The kids that we had on board, they were just enjoying everything.
Your wife drove up from Mexico?
Oh, my wife drove up from Mexico. Paulina, love you, baby. And it was just really, really, really a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Just with everybody there having a good time.
And it didn't hurt that we caught an incredible amount of lobster that night, man.
No, it did not. And the sunset right when we started throwing our hoops down, it was just spectacular. It was beautiful, beautiful night. Hardly any wind. It was just so special. And like we've been saying before, it has been an early crawl. You get your nets down, you get them in the water, get them in your spots, and your first pull is usually the most plentiful. And then it goes on, levels off from there. But it's been really, really, really good, especially with all the weather that we've been having lately. So
yeah, fish for fun. I was talking to Mark Paisano Jr., who ran the Amigo. He owns the Amigo, runs the Amigo, and I said, hey, why don't we do a trip when you get out of the yard? He's doing boat work on his boat right now, and he was all into it. So maybe one more here in January. A little bit later this month, we'll go one more time. And if you'd like to join us, we'll be putting out maybe next week's Lobster Chronicles show, which is about when Brian Sanchez will show up for this show about a week later. Maybe we'll have that date, and I'm telling you would have a really good time with the nuts that come out here, for sure. And, of course, Richard Hughes, who's just written the new song for Friedman Adventures, one of the lines in there is, Brian will probably be late. Have you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great, right?
It was great. We love you, Brian.
You're gonna have to rewrite that, Richard. Brian will probably not show up. That's what I'm thinking right now. 18 minutes over is what Mitchell says. He doesn't think Brian's going to show up until 18 minutes. Albert Ponce. Hey, Albert, love you, man. Good evening, fellas. Happy belated New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo to you, Albert. It is always great to have you here. Zero chance that he's going to show, says the dog. Is that what you're saying, dog? Yep. All right, there you are. These guys, by the way, they both looked at me like I was from outer space. They asked me about the donkey on the Winnie the Pooh show. What's the name?
Eeyore.
Eeyore. And I said, who the hell is Eeyore? And they both look at me like, you don't know who Eeyore is? And I go, no, I don't know who the hell Eeyore is. I guess, from showing that to my kids, I should know that. I don't remember playing a lot of Winnie the Pooh for them.
Yeah,
I was playing more like, war movies when they were 6 years old. I went into a movie with Patrick when he was, I'm going to get arrested by child services all these years later. He was probably 7 years old. And we went to see a movie called We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson. And it's a very violent helicopter pilots in the Vietnam War. And we walk in the movie theater, it's completely full. And the only place we could sit is like in the front row, basically. So we sit there, and I just get this feeling that all these people are looking down going, what a jerk bringing his... And I'm looking at Patrick during the movie. I go, are you okay? You understand war is a horrible thing? And he's like, I'm good, Dad. I'm all right. But I kept thinking, people are like, what a dork, man, bringing your kid into a movie like this. All right, let's see. Where are we now? Wolf, says Halibut Man for the dog right here. Robert Slager, any chance of Scott Bucher being in the studio? Your wish is my command, Robert. Absolutely. Dan Lightfoot should be here tonight. Man, Dan, where are you? Good evening, Phil, Philip, and Renee. That's what my mother always used to call me. And what's up, Anthony? Anthony is here making sure everything runs smoothly around this place. And by the way, big shout out to Penn Fishing Reels for helping us with our trip next weekend down to beautiful Mexico. We have some kids from an orphanage who Mad Dog Customs and Z Custom Rods are going to teach how to repair a rod, put a guide on the rod, and then we're going fishing, man. We're going to walk over. We're going to be a big shout out to Blackfin Sport Fishing and Puna Banda down there, who's making the facilities available to us. We're going to cook there. We're going to do the rod repair there, and then we're going to walk 5 minutes away, and we're fishing in the estero, the estuary, and there's been big spot fin croakers, lots of guitar fish. It should be great, Renee.
Wow. That's just a time that these kids are never, ever going to forget.
We're not going to forget it either. It's going to be so much fun.
Nobody's going to forget, but those still special times with the kids it's what it's all about.
And my dear friend George Feldman, he is my wife's immigration lawyer, so I really am angry at him. He got her in here and got her to be legal, so I could kill him for that. I'm stuck with her now. But no, George was Ruth's immigration lawyer, and he's such a giving, wonderful person. His main concern was, when is it going to end so we can take the kids out for a movie or take the kids out for a steak dinner or something like that. So George, also, we thank you so very much. It's going to be fantastic. Penn reels, everybody. Donating the rods, the reels, tackle boxes, the bait. Penn reels, making a difference in the lives of some kids who can really use it. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait.
Penn reels. Penn, if you ever started fishing, you're always going to have a Penn. And those Penn reels will last you a lifetime.
I love it. Can't get a better endorsement than that. Halibut Man. Oh, Dan doesn't see the Halibut Man. That's cool. Chivo is joining us. Good evening, Phil, Renee, and everyone else. Over under on Brian being late, 30 minutes, he says.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. 5:30 is what he says. I'm sticking to my original prediction. No show. Where's the Lobster Chronicles song? You know what? I got to figure a way to do that. You know what I'm going to do from now on, Richard? We'll just put a speaker here and we'll play it that way. So I promise you that when Brian Sanchez shows up, we'll play the song. How's that sound? Never, right? All right. Let's see. Who do we have here? Demon Slayer, who's always with us. Can't thank you enough. Good evening, Phil, and all of the fellow fishermen and fisherwomen, and most importantly, the kids that fish. Let's go 2026 season. Sounds like another person who we are honored to have on the Friedman Adventures team because he's thinking about kids and getting them fishing, which is what's going to be happening next weekend in beautiful Ensenada. It looks like gorgeous weather. If this long-range forecast holds up, it's going to be a remarkable, awesome weekend. And Anthony, I'm thinking we probably should bring the satellite because surf fishing in the Estero live would be pretty cool, man. Yeah, I think so. So you may be watching us with the kids live down there. I'm thinking we have to do that now.
It has to be plugged in.
Oh, that's right. So we got to go buy something. We'll get whatever it is we need. Yeah, a generator, whatever it is we need. We'll do that. Can't you buy something that you charge up and then?
There's some battery. There's some battery ones.
We'll figure it out. But yes, definitely want to do that for you. All right, Dan Lightfoot, we can meet all the time, Halibut Man. Dan Lightfoot, communicate. What the hell are these morons talking about? Richard Hughes, can't see the Scott face. Too much glare on it. Yeah, Anthony was mentioning that. We'll work. He fixed it. Is it any better, Richard? Let me look.
Clear as day.
Yeah. Paulina's even a little, Scott is good.
Yeah,
we got him.
I'll get her over.
All right. Richard Hughes, don't bag on Ruth. She's the best. Oh, the only reason I bag on her is because she's got a great sense of humor and she doesn't speak English, so she has no idea what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Anthony and her goof around all the time. In fact, Ruth was sitting next to me yesterday, and for whatever reason, when I looked at Anthony to say goodbye, I had in it that I was saying goodbye to Ruth, and I blew Anthony a kiss. And he looked at me like, what the hell?
Anthony just grabbed it, put it onto his heart, and went like this.
I go, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, Richard, I will refrain from bagging on my little Rutita Linda. In fact, Anthony will show you that I've added something to our studio just for Ruth. Right there. The Costa Rica flag now is here with the United States flag, of course, the Notre Dame flag, and behind Anthony, the Mexico flag. So This is starting to look like the United Nations in here.
This is. There's fish everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Scott needs to be closer to Paulina for dramatic effect. Can't argue with you there, Mitchell. Jack Sepulveda. Hey, Jack. Good to see you. Always good to have you with us. Hello, Phil. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you also, Jack. Richard Hughes says perfect. And a lot of great stuff. By the way, Daniel Hodowy was on earlier with us. The Island Spirit is fishing this weekend. They're going to run throughout the wintertime on weekends. Normally, they would just throw the towel in during this time of the year, but they're going to go try to catch whitefish, calico bass, sand bass, halibut, white sea bass, and they're going this weekend Island Spirit sport fishing. And I'll have our new charter date shortly here. Our website, I don't think is live quite yet, but it's close. You may be able to get on there, but I don't know that it's functioning the way we would like to have it. But it's www. You're going to have to guess what you think our website name is.
Phil Friedman Adventures?
Wrong. Friedman Adventures.
Oh, Friedman Adventures.
FriedmanAdventures.com. We don't want to confuse people too much. So, FriedmanAdventures.com. And we'll be posting like the lobster trip there, the Island Spirit trip there, working on a couple of trips on the Pacific Islander, perhaps calling it Lingcod kind of trip. So, don't forget, www.FriedmanAdventures.com. And you'll be able to see all of that. It's a work in progress right now. Give us another week, and we should be in really great shape. Richard Hughes says the studio looks fantastic. Audio, great also. Gotta love that, huh, Renee?
There you go.
We haven't even started talking about lobster yet, man. I'm getting to it. I got a few more questions here.
Okay, we'll go through them.
Quite a few more people on here. We're going to be out of here like at about 5:55. So if you do have a question, get it into Renee. He can help you out. Like the one gentleman who's never been hoop netting before. If you have any questions at all, we'll definitely go through that with you. It is 5:17. You have 3 minutes for Brian Sanchez to show up, or you go down the tubes.
Yep.
I'm looking pretty golden here, if you ask me.
Come on, B. Come on.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Renee, any news on the crawl during the bad weather? Mitchell asked that question, and let me just explain to everybody. Well, I know you're going to go into great detail, but it seems as though lobster have a tendency to come out and crawl around after some inclement weather. Is that true?
Yes. They do not like fresh water. Because the fresh water starts running down into their little cubby holes and stuff like that, but they get hungry and they start going out. And with all the inclement weather and all the rain that we had, they have been coming out. And just as before, it's been an early crawl. You get your nets in the water early, before sunset, wait around 20, 40 minutes after sunset, start pulling your first line, and you'll see you're going to be getting a lot of lobster on their first pulls. So they're running, and it's an early crawl. Then it starts slackening off later on in the night. But the inclement weather is what brings them out a lot.
So you mentioned the fresh water gets them crawling. So if there's no rain but a lot of wind, does that make them crawl? Do they crawl after that without the rain?
It does. There's water movement, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, if there's a lot of weather, it's usually the rain that really brings them out. So it's not so much that there's a lot of wind out there and moves the water on top, because they are down on the bottom, and it usually doesn't really have any significance as far as what's going on. It has more significance with the guys that are on top. You guys are trying to pull. It gets a little bumpy and a little rock and rolly.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the significance of it.
All right, Mitchell, great question. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Demon Slayer is from Oxnard, California, my dad's hometown. He loves light gear fishing for them little demons, the calico bass on the Island Spirit. Yeah, me too, man. 12-pound. Good hot bait, and you're bit up all day long on calico bass, man.
All day.
Yep. You guys that are fishing heavier are not getting bit. You go to that light stuff on calico bass. It makes all the difference in the world. A great friend of ours and the show is Robert Graber. Hey, Phil, going to into the Ventura County Sport Fishing Club meeting. Looking forward to having you up again. Let Mad Dog drive. Well, you think we're coming to that club again? We almost died the last time we went up there, Graber. You're crazy, man. Hey, say hi to all the great people up there. And, of course, we can't wait to come up there again. That's going to be a lot of fun. Mad Dog's waiting for me to get my next car so his doesn't get completely obliterated on the freeway on the way home. So definitely, Robert, 8:05 coverage for you earlier today. I know you love that. And I'll be letting you know when we're on the Island Spirit here. Probably April, I'm guessing, but we'll have those dates for you. www.freedmanadventures.com, everybody. Make sure you check that out. BSI Rec. Hey, how are you, my friend? Hey, Phil, Brian. Actually, Brian is probably going to no-show tonight, my friend. This is Renee, but he's got a question, and we are so happy you took time to do it. My question tonight is, vacuum-sealed frozen bait just as good as fresh dead bait. What are your thoughts about the best practice to preserve bait in the freezer if you need to do that? Great question.
Vacuum sealing is always preferred if you can do it. If you have the little vacuum sealer and you know you can preserve your bait that you got left over, that's going to keep it from freezer burning, and it's just better when you open it up. If you have a plastic bag, you know, if you don't have a vacuum sealer, you know, get a tub of water, put your bait in it, and then stick the baggie in the water, and then seal it up with your fingers. That'll work too. But try to keep as much air out of the bag as possible, and your bait should last you a good long time. It's not as good as fresh bait. Fresh bait is always the best bait. But if you can't get any fresh bait like that, then, you know, try to preserve whatever bait you can get.
And since we're on the topic of bait, what bait is best? Do you think it's the sardine? Do you think it's the mackerel? What is it? What's best?
I'm a firm believer of using sardines. Mackerel are good and oily, so they do break it out. You got to chop them up pretty good. They're a little bit bigger fish, but I'm a firm believer of using sardines. And salmon heads. People like using salmon heads, but again, you get salmon heads in the water, and I'll tell you that the sea lions are going to come running.
Yeah,
they come running. So you want to really think about that before you start putting in salmon heads. And they're so hard to deal with because you gotta chop them up and get a cleaver and cut the heads up and get them in the smaller spots. But sardines are where you need to go. If you don't have sardines, try to get anchovies. Mush up the anchovies. Not so much mushing them up, but get them, you know, cut up and get them in there so you can get the scent going. And that attracts your lobster, and that gets them into the net.
Yeah, I mean, the night that we were on the Amigo, we used sardines, and it was live sardines. I mean, it was fresh, dead sardines.
Right.
And, man, it was super effective.
Yeah, and this is what else we do when you're out there fishing for lobster too, and you're trying to change your bait, keeping the freshest bait in there as possible. When you open up your little container and your bait has already been in the water for a little while, put it back inside the bucket that you have all your other bait in. Mush it up a little bit. Get it regurgitated with some of the other blood and the juices that you had in it. Then fill up your tube again. Put it on there. Put it on the net and throw it out. And it just helps. It helps keeping that bait, and you're recycling it again, and it's all ready and fresh and ready to rock and roll again.
I noticed that you said the crawl is really early, and I know when we were on the Amigo, we were dropping our nets while the sun was setting.
Right.
It wasn't dark.
No.
It was setting, and so that kind of timing for private boaters or a kayaker is really important, right? Get your nets set before the sun sets. Am I right?
Right. Yeah, and it's just how the rhythm has been going lately. Get your nets in there before the sunset, and then after the sunset, Well, like I said, wait about 20 minutes, 40 minutes or so, and then on your first string, do your first pulls, and that's usually when you get a lot of your lobsters. And it also tells you if you're in the right spot or not. But again, they are crawling, and you do want to get your stuff in there early.
This is still the Promar lobster hoop netting show, right? Even without Brian, are we still calling it that?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
You don't want to go out there without Promar. Get the Promar nets in there, the Promar ambush, the XLs, the light hoop nets. Get out there, and you're not going to get them without that. Get the containers, your little bait tubes, the line. They got everything that you need. Promar.
Yeah, I was just asking because we haven't seen anybody from Promar on the show lately.
I pimp them. I'm pimping them.
All right, you have lost your over and under bet. Mine is still alive because if Brian doesn't show tonight, which is my bet, and I've been perfectly honest about it through the entire evening, then I will win. And you know what that means? I don't know what it means. You've already taken
Your
great
master
care.
and controller?
By the way, Renee has provided us with these beautiful microphones that we're going to set up. We're going to have 4 mics thanks to Renee. We would have had them tonight, but we're missing the computer that runs those. Who has the computer?
Brian.
Brian has it.
Brian has
And he
it.
was supposed to bring it tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we were going to set it up.
Yeah.
Boy, you're really picking on Brian a lot tonight, or is it me? All right, here we go. Back to our incredible show right now. Richard Hughes, man, he pays attention because he knows that Brian gets seasick. Brian probably glanced at the ocean and puked. Maybe he glanced at me and puked.
Oh,
That's happened to others for sure.
Brian, we love you, man.
Oh, we certainly
want
do.
You. They want you here, man. They need you here.
All right, here we go. Let's go to Halibut Man Mitchell says, Renee, do you think since it's a warm water winter, and I can attest to that every morning on the morning briefing, I put my Tootsies in there and get the water temperature, and it feels every bit of 62, 63 down there right now. Is that, do we have a more or less active crawl when the water's warmer like that?
Again, I know that when it's warmer, they're not as active as it is when the water's colder, in midwinter. Usually we find that the lobsters or the season for getting lobsters picks up during the middle of the winter, like the end of January, February, March. March usually starts tapering off. But we usually see how the lobsters are very consistent within that time frame. As far as the warm weather, and usually the water is pretty cold by then. But we're getting the warm weather out of the south, and they've been crawling, so it could be plentiful food that's in the water. And they're out there crawling, and they're, like I said, it's an early crawl, so they're out there looking really early and going out there and jumping after their food.
All right, very good. Hey, we are live here at 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. Don't forget the Freedom under new ownership. She is going to be providing you with some great fishing adventures in the coming year. I guarantee you that. We're going to be doing lots of trips with the Freedom. Highly recommend you do the same. And when your reels, you need some reel repair. It's wintertime. This is the time to get your reel repairs. And Chris from SoCal Reels. SoCalReels.com. New sponsor, great guy, just sent a message and said, count me in on the Mexico trip. So, Chris, I hope I'm reading that right, and I hope you're going to be joining us. That will be fantastic to have you come along. You and I can chat tomorrow about that. I'll get you all tuned up on where to stay and what to do, but we would love to have you come along. Once again, Penn Reels making that whole thing in Mexico a reality. By the way, Anthony and I are going to be meeting with many of the Mexican captains down there, and we're going to help to promote those smaller mom and pop operations. And guess what? It's on us. We're not going down to charge the people, the mom and pop type organizations. We're just going to help to promote because they work so hard. They're such good people. Their work ethic, as I just mentioned, is great. And it's our way of giving back to Mexico for, I feel like they allow us into their beautiful, pristine waters to fish. I feel like it's a good thing to say thank you.
And correct me if I'm wrong. And these captains that go out there, they don't have a lot of sophisticated electronics or just sophisticated boats and stuff like that. These guys a lot of time go out there by their instinct, by what they've been taught, and they drop their lines, and they're very successful. It's
amazing, right? Yeah, they fly by the seat of their pants sometimes.
Right. And they watch the water. They know the conditions, and they go from that. So they're very in tune to the environment that's over there.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's go back to some of these questions. And Mitchell Halibut, man, keeping this show rocking tonight. Mitchell, thank you. If they like a cold crawl, what's your thoughts on why they don't go more up north?
Probably because they have a more of a hold down here. I mean, they get a lot of lobsters over there, but down here, I think it's has to do more with their little food chain. And
how far north do they go? How far north do you catch those things?
I believe you can get them all the way up to the Oregon border.
Oh, you can? Yeah. Okay.
Because that I believe their licenses and stuff, you can go all the way up to the Oregon border. We don't see very much. You see a lot of crab and stuff up north, but lobsters too much. I mean, they are up there, but I don't see very many guys up there. They come down here where the water's a little bit more temperate and stable.
And Mitchell says he's sorry for asking the marine biology great questions,
don't
worry about it, man.
I'm just going off the seat of my pants with how we do it and what I see and what's going on. So
every time I see Anthony look out the door, I think Brian's gonna walk up. But man, there's no way. I'm telling you, man, he's blowing us off. Well, come on, man. What? Hey, Steve Oropesa, Promar. Come on, where is he? All right, here we go. Brian, speaking of Brian, different Brian, though. Brian, thank you. Another great question from you. I really appreciate it. I caught a lobster molting its shell and noticed how red their flesh was. Is it okay to consume?
Oh, yeah. The only thing they're doing is they're outgrowing the shell that they're in. And that shell that they're in is too small for their little body that's there now. So they're fine. They're just growing. It's like your kids, outgrowing their young clothes, and you got to get new clothes. So they're very good, man. Very good.
All right, cool. Yeah, why not, man? Those things are so delicious. Let's get back to some more questions here. Chris from SoCalReels.com. You need reel repair. Go on that website right now. Say hi to Chris. He's live on here right now. Tell him hi for Friedman Adventures. Chris is going to go with us to Mexico. So, hey, Anthony, this is our practice run for our Mexico adventures that Friedman Adventures will be bringing you in the very near future. All right. Halibut Man, if anyone wants a six-pack or a smaller trip, I work on a sweet whaler conquest out of San Diego. If you need a private trip, fully licensed, and great captain and crew. And then I guess Mitchell's going to keep it a secret as to what boat it is. But there you go. Reach out to Mitchell if you want to go on a smaller boat, six-pack. Brian will be late, like the song says Jeff Lingle. Jeff, he ain't going to show tonight, man. I'm telling you. He's blowing us off. I'm telling you, but I hope you're right. Maybe. And you're right, just like the song says, that the great Richard has written for all of us. Richard Hughes, awesome. Where is the cranker tonight? I have no idea. All right, back to our great questions here tonight. Man, we're already a half hour through the show. We're going to run out of time before you know it. Anthony, Vice President of Friedman Adventures. I think we could even give him a more lofty term than that. But for sure, Anthony is a huge part of what's going on here, for sure.
MVP.
I see Promar on all the Dungy videos, so you guys have the West Coast covered. Promar is #1 in hoop netting, and soon with all your fishing needs. There's a great plug for Promar.
There you go.
You know what? If Brian Sanchez were here, I'd ask him if that were true or not, but he's not here.
Very true. Very true. A lot of those commercial guys up there, they use Promar products, and they just knock the heck out of the Dungeness crab and all the crabs and crustaceans they get up there.
All right, there you have it. Steve Bermudez. Steve, haven't seen you for way too long. Hope you're doing great, my friend. What flavor of Berkeley Power bait do I use for lobster? You have an answer for that? The sardine, of course, right?
Yeah, I got to use
fresh
the sardine
one.
Yep.
We will be using Berkeley Power bait, or not Power bait. We'll be using Berkeley Gulp down there on our trip with the kids from the orphanage. We may grab a couple of other kids. We have some more pin rods and reels, and we might see a kid and say, "Hey, kid, what are you doing? Come on, man. We're going to take you fishing."
There you go.
Take the rod home, courtesy of Pin Reels. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Text Friedman for more information for the lobster trips for my number. I can't put it on YouTube. Yeah, so you can send me a text, and I'll hook you up with Mitch. I'd be happy to do that. 657-227-6459. Brian, again. Brian, thanks for keeping the show rocking here tonight. Appreciate your participation. It's very much appreciated. Would you be willing to do a live demonstration on how to rig a hoop?
Yes.
Would you be willing to do that next week?
Yeah, we'll do it next week. I got a brand new rig and everything, and I'll bring it in and show you at least how I set it up. So, yeah, we can do that.
Are you in, Brian? Are you going to tune in next week? Because we'll be here at...
Brian undercover.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe this is Brian Sanchez undercover. He's just testing us.
Brian, is that you undercover?
I doubt it. No, this is actually a more honorable Brian. So,
okay.
When a guy tells you he's going to be somewhere, this Brian actually shows up. So you can do that next week.
Yes.
And Brian, are you able to tune in?
Yes, I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in, and I'll show you how I rig them up.
How long does it take you to rig a net?
It doesn't take too long. So,
is it a half hour or is it a 10-minute thing?
It's about 10, 15 minutes. You can have it rigged up and ready to rock and roll.
Right on. Perfect.
I'll bring the tube. I'll bring the net, and everything will be all disassembled, and we'll put it all together, and that way you guys can see what we got going on.
Well, that'll be great. I think that would be very educational for everybody, and I think it'll take away some of the mystery about how difficult it is to do that. It's not that difficult, right?
It's not that difficult. Once you get it all set up and stuff and ready to go, then that's going to be your rig. You're going to be using it all the time. So you do it right, tie them up right, and, you're not going to lose them. You're going to you'll have them for a while.
All right, very good. Rob joins us and says, good evening. Good evening, Rob. It is great to have you with us. A reminder to you all, I will be on the beach in the morning doing the morning briefing. You'll be caught up on everything that's going on in Mexico, long range, and I'll cover everything in Southern California, including the surf. And we do mention the lobster hoop netting. And once again, thank you, Penn Reels, for making our next adventure in Mexico a reality. That is going to be so much fun. Taking these kids, showing them how to repair a rod, taking them fishing, and then sending them home with the rod, the tackle box, and maybe some fish.
There you go.
And, of course, we're going to be feeding the kids also. George Feldman is always very good about that. We'll be barbecuing. Who knows? Maybe we'll do the rod repair, eat, go fishing, and then come back and eat again, right? Might as well fill these kids up. And then who knows what George has planned for the kids. He might take them to the movies or do something like that. Absolutely. Brian says he will be checking it out. I would love to come up and cook for you guys. Brian, anytime, man. Anytime you want to do that.
We're always here for it.
We would love to have you. And by the way, if anybody...
He deleted it.
Oh, shoot. Brian doesn't want to cook for us now.
Oh, okay.
It probably is Brian now,
Them all.
Yeah. He's deleting all his messages. I think it is Brian Sanchez. Yeah. It is Brian Sanchez making promises he can't keep.
Here we go. I got a question for you guys. I got a question for the crowd here. How many of you that have fished started out with your first pen reel and you still have it? So how many of you have it, and how long have you had it?
Let me ask you that question. Do you still have it?
I still have my first pen reel, and I believe I got it when I was 12. And it's like a little squitter.
Yeah.
And I still have it. And in fact, it's sitting at home. It's ready to rock and roll. It fishes, casts real good, real clean. I just keep it clean, and I've had it, for 50, 60 years now.
So durable.
They're very durable. So
And another thing about pen reels now is the affordability of that reel. They've kept that reel affordable.
They
most of their product.
Yeah, they kept that reel very affordable. And back in the day, they also had. It's kind of like how Toyota and Ford and all these other little companies did their stuff. They have little offshoots of other companies. Like Chevy has GMC,
Yeah.
but it's still a Chevy. And Penn did that, and they did it with Sears and Roebuck. They did it with a couple other companies, Woolworth, but they did it under different little names and stuff. But they're still pen reels, and you take care of them, they're going to last you a lifetime. They're going to last you a life. Hand it down to your kid. Let your kid use it. Let your kid hand it down to his kid. And
It's a beautiful thing.
yeah, it's just something that's going to be handed down from generation to generation.
Can you do me a favor and ask Brian Sanchez if he still has? Oh, wait a minute, he's not here.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's not here. I forgot. Anyway, all right. Chivo says as the season gets later, it seems like hooping from the rocks around Long Beach is getting tougher.
It does get a little tough. It's tough going off the rocks, anyways. You gotta you gotta really throw your net out there, and hopefully it doesn't get snagged on a rock, because the rocks project down and out. So you have to get it up and out away from the rocks. So yeah, it gets a little tough, and then it gets a little slippery, and depending on how long you stay out there with it. So it gets a little treacherous, but guys do it and they have fun doing it.
All right, Rob still has his pen reel. He's answering you. Bez United. I have mine. It was like 2020 when he got his first one. Way to go, my friend.
Way to go.
Brian says, do you think the season gets any better into the later months of lobster season? Do they become more active? Is it different from year to year? What's the deal on that?
They start spawning. It starts the spawning crawl, and they're out there. They're looking for love, and once they start looking for love, they get hungry. And when there's love and hungry, you get them in your nets. So yeah, they're all over the place.
All right, there you go. Shark 8, Newell 300C is what he still has with him.
There you go.
Rob S., I was about 12. First trip for the first string. Wow. About 12, so about 40 years ago.
There you go.
Rob, man, I know. You're like same kind of time that we were running around pretty much doing all this stuff. And Rob, it was a bait caster.
There you go.
Man, look what you started. Shark 8, a 505, Pen 505, which is a jig master, right? A 500 was a jig master, but a 50. Whoa!
Ladies and gentlemen.
I was wrong.
I gotta go.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, you just brought that?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? You got to come in here and just say.
Come on.
We've
Come
been
on.
ragging on
Come
you
on,
the whole show.
Come on.
I've been
Come
ripping
on,
you to
buddy.
shreds during the whole show.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Brian
the one and
Sanchez.
only.
I have to eat crow now, everybody. I said he would not show. Renee said you'd be 15 minutes late. Do you know that Richard Hughes wrote a song and mentioned you in it?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. All right, you got to go?
No, I was gonna go fishing. Yeah.
Oh, where are you going?
Just right here or somewhere close by.
Oh.
No, you can hang out here a little bit. Just
I gotta go meet somebody there.
Ay.
All right, Brian Sanchez, everybody. I was wrong. He did show up. I'm so happy he did and added so much to our show tonight. Yeah.
I'll be back next week.
He says he'll be back next week. Anybody want to start taking bets right now?
You heard it. He said he's going to be back next week.
On time.
Brian Sanchez, everybody. All right, there he goes.
Are you coming by the house later or what?
I don't know, maybe. I'll text you.
You're not going to come by. I can already tell
I
that.
don't know, I'll text you.
All right, Brian is he's on his way. So
Yeah,
we are doing a show.
He's
So
got a call from the Bat Cave, and he's going on a Batman run.
we have about 5 more minutes left in this show. Brian Sanchez actually showed up, everybody. It is still the Promar. We're going to change the name from the Promar Lobster Hoop Netting Show to something else, but you saved it. Thank God.
There it is.
Promar
There
is
it is.
still a part of this, even if it's for 30 seconds
That's
tonight.
it.
We'll do giveaways next week.
Giveaways next week. Listen, are you listening, everybody?
That-
Say, well, I think we got to get this documented. You better stand
my
in front
boy.
and say,
That's my boy,
We got to
G.
say giveaways.
Giveaways next week.
We're
For sure.
giveaways for sure next week.
At least
Here we
one.
go.
And Renee's got to show how to rig a lobster net. So we had
Oh, yeah.
some people
Yeah.
on here asking for that. So, all right, there we go. Brian is going to make this all up to all of us. It's going to be good. Perfect. Now, if you tell me you're going to bring a tomahawk steak for me, I won't pick on you anymore at all. Man, you told me about. I've never thought the description you gave of how you make a tomahawk steak is so good, man, that my mouth is watering.
One day.
One day. All right, everybody, let's go back to our great questions here. Demon Slayer, I have a small pen jig reel. I'm about 40 and had it about 28, 29 years. And it's my halibut rig, smooth little dude. Nice to hear that,
Go-to.
Demon
Yep.
Slayer. That is so cool, man. Look, I mean, you've opened up something really great. San Diego Bay, still getting limits. Lots of 2 to 3 pounders, says Shark 8. So San Diego
Nice.
Bay has been great. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to hear that.
Alf Clowers is down there. And over in Mission Bay, Fernandez Charters. Look up Pablo Fernandez Charters. He'll hook you up. He'll hook you up right there.
Fernandez Charter, San Diego. Make sure you look up Pablo. He's a great guy. Davies Lures. Hey, am I going to see you in the morning, Davey? I'll be down there 7 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. I still have my grandpa's Squitter, Long Beach, and Jigmaster. How cool is that? Hey, Daniel Sarge. Great to have you with us, my friend. Always good to see you. I love the video you sent me with you and the sand bass the other day. Daniel, that was great stuff. Chivo, Brian showed up. Show's over, everyone. Go home. Man, I love it.
We love
He
you.
walks in and
That's it.
that's it. Okay. Shark 8, 505 was the Jigmaster higher speed. That's right. I remember that. Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time remembering, but I'm thinking my first pen reel was a Jigmaster. And I just remember, man, how far you could throw an iron with that
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
using a 10-footer. I started when I was really young, but I started like hardcore on the boats when I was like 11, 12. I was a pinhead on the Redondo Special in Redondo Beach, California. And it was like every weekend I was there and, scrubbing the boat and doing the whole thing. And yeah, I'll never forget those days, man. They were so good.
They're fun. They're fun. And you treated that. I mean, those reels took a beating, but man, they are still so smooth. They're your go-to reel, no matter how it is. I still got my old 500 that I used when I caught my first thresher shark. I think I want to say I was like 19, and the thresher shark I caught was like 12 feet long. I had 40 pound on it. Used a live mackerel. We were out in South Bay, and it took me 2 hours to get that sucker in. It was my first thresher
Oh,
shark.
wow.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and I still have that reel. I still have it.
Dan Lightfoot says, come on, guys, hit that like button. Dan, thank you so much for all you do for Friedman Adventures, man. You are the best. Davey is still sick, so he won't be on the beach in the morning. Feel better, my friend. Shark 8 still have a Pen 99. Man, that is a unique reel, I will say
it
that.
is.
Richard Hughes, I don't know if this is a comment or a new line in his song. Brian is a huge flake. Brian is a huge flake. I can hear it right now. And the cranker shows up. Richard Hughes will be taking off on the cranker in a moment. What do you get when you take a piano and drop it down a mine shaft?
What?
Anybody have a guess on this? A falling piano, a gold piano.
A flat note?
I don't know, Mike. What is it? Because I'm getting ready to sign off, so don't be too long or I'm going to sign off and...
We're going to be
thinking
about it all.
Come on, cranker. What is it? Richard, what do you think about this? Here it is. A flat minor. You said that, didn't you?
I said a flat note.
Pretty close. Very good, Mike. I like that, actually. Pretty good. Nice double entendre there. Cat B. Hi, buddy. Happy New Year, Michael Burke. Hey, Michael. Always good to see you, my friend. Send you all my best. Happy New Year to you. Hey, Jeff Lingle, a flat minor, and I know he sent that in before it came up. Jeff, you're number one. It was fun talking to you. We are going to hook up with Jeff Lingle sometime when the weather clears in Illinois while he's catching crappie on a lake in Illinois. Sometime in the next, 3, 4 days, 5 days, we'll find a time and actually do it. You get a double highball, Richard Hughes says to the cranker. There you are. It's a musician's joke. Oh, you have to be a musician to understand that.
Yeah.
None of us, it went right over the rest of our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Mike.
play harmonica
Darn.
and stuff
Thanks for
like that, so,
explaining that, Mike. Darn, for all us morons out here who couldn't figure the joke out, I appreciate you taking the time to spell it out for us. All right. I think Jeff Lingle, Mike, who you won. He deleted that one. A double highball for Mike Cranker. Renee, great having you on the show.
been an
I
honor.
think Jeff's going to have something before we sign off, so I would like to see that. Once again, thank you, Penn Reels, for all you do for us here at Friedman Adventures, and we're going to be in Mexico having a magical weekend next weekend. That's going to be fun. Mike Krinkovich says, what do you get? Oh, well, I'll go with one more. What do you get when you drop a piano on an army barracks? Flat. Army barracks. Flat. Some kind of bomb? I don't know, Mike. Hurry up. What is the answer?
While we're waiting, go ahead. A big shout out to
A flat
Promar.
major.
A flat major.
Oh, Mike, in case somebody doesn't understand, you want to explain that? Go ahead.
Anyways, a big thank you to Promar Ahi. You guys can't go lobster fishing without any of their products. They are the best around on the West Coast, East Coast, Gulf Coast. You need them. You get your lobsters from them, and they're going to take good care of you. Ask for Brian Sanchez over there at Promar. He will take care of you if you have any questions.
If he shows up.
Any concerns.
All right, Jeff Lingle says, Mike, who won the rhythm? Mike? Is it gymnastics today? It's some weird thing that Mike watches, I'm sure. He didn't watch that today, Jeff, because there was a table tennis tournament going on in East Afghanistan that he was tuned into.
Brian Sanchez won.
Oh, yeah, Brian Sanchez won that. All right, hey, we got to get out of here. 22nd Street Landing, they're going to throw us the hell out of here if we don't get out of here right now. Mike Krinkovich, thanks for the great jokes. Jeff Lingle joining us from Illinois. And all of you other great folks like Halibut Man, like Dan Lightfoot, Mike Krinkovich, 4 gray whales went by Palos Verdes today on their migration down to the warm water lagoons of Baja California. Thank you very much. Lakers Spurs tonight. Jeff Lingle's got his money on the Spurs, I hear. Thanks, everybody. See you for the morning briefing in the morning. Don't forget, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you for all the great support you give us. And what the heck, even though it's not quite ready yet, check out www.FriedmanAdventures.com. Renee, you're the man.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for all you do.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, guys.
Take care, everybody.